Welcome back to another video, Heroes Gaming, and in today's video we are going to be talking about how to scout in College Football 25. I know the game has been out for just over a month now, and there are probably a lot of videos out there on how to scout, but I wanted to wait and learn as much as I can about scouting, all the ins and outs, before I gave you guys a video on how to scout. And I hate leaving anything out. I want to give you guys the full perspective on how to scout. And I feel like now I can do that for you guys. So without further ado, let's get into how to scout. For the purpose of this video, I'm using App State. They are a 2-star team. I didn't want to choose a 3, 4, 5, 6-star team because it's easy to scout with those teams. But I want to show you guys that it's also easy to scout with a 1 or 2-star team. And then also for the purpose of this video, the Coach XP speed setting, I'm going to have that on fastest. I have mine on slowest on my dynasty, but that's just my preference. And then one thing you want to do whenever you're making your coach is you want to pick the recruiting ability. You want to pick that because you want to get out to recruiting with a fast pace. Now, before you do any scouting or looking at any prospects, you want to go over to your roster and to redshirts. You want to redshirt all the players that you want to redshirt, get all of that out the way, and then once you get all of that out the way, then you can see, okay, how many people do I have leaving at the end of the season? How many people are going to be juniors next season? I mean, how many juniors do I have this season that are going to be seniors next year? That's how you're going to know who to scout and what position. Now, let me give you an example here. Strong safety. I'm redshirting a freshman. I have 2 redshirt juniors. They're going to be back next year. They're going to be redshirt seniors. But he's leaving after next season. And he's only a 56 overall. He's higher, but still, he's really not that good. So I probably want to scout at least 2 strong safeties because I probably have this guy here, Trey, back up, one of my strong safeties. But the reason why I want to scout strong safeties this year is because their freshman year, I can redshirt them while these 2 guys, Favors and Hamilton, are redshirt seniors. So the safeties that I'm scouting for next year, I can redshirt them. They don't have to play. They can sit out the whole season while these 2 guys play out their senior seasons. So that's how I kind of figure out, okay, what position do I need to scout? Who can I, have commit to my team this year? And then I can redshirt next year and I don't have to play them at all. So I can get the maximum redshirt player and have them out there. And by the time they're redshirt senior, they're a really good player. Because you don't want to scout players and then next season you have to play them as a redshirt. You don't want to play them. You want to scout them. So you want to scout them and then redshirt them their first season because the person in front of them is a senior. So that's how I go about looking at that. Once you figure out all that and what positions you want to scout, now you can go over to coach skills, and this is another way to get a little advantage on positions that you want to scout. Now, let's say you need to scout a lot of offensive linemen because you have a lot of offensive linemen leaving, and then also your offensive line is not that strong. See, I have a 57, 69. I have a 59 here, 59, 57. We have a 66 and a 59 down here. We have some good players up here, but he's a redshirt junior. He's a senior. These guys are going to be leaving real soon. So you want to bolster up your offensive line, and you want to be able to redshirt those players the first year without playing them. So you want to go over here, and then you want to go over to advanced look, offensive line. offensive line takes less time to fully scout. We're going to pick that one. Because this year we're going to be focused on scouting a lot of offensive linemen. So whenever we do that, it's not going to take that long to scout the offensive lineman. So that's giving you, say, hey, I have a lot of players in this position to scout. Let me, not spend as much scouting points or scouting hours on those positions, and when I can make it quicker. So we are here in the prospect list. Now, left trigger on PlayStation says any. On the right trigger, it says recommended. I like to go with the recommended list first, only because most of the time, these are players that you probably could get or you have a best chance of getting. But before we do any of that, where it says interest, you want to sort this to the highest interest that the player has in you first. So it goes down 4th, 7th, 9th, 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 10th, 10th. So offensive tackle, the best deal we have here is we're in 4th. So let's go over to offensive guard. Same, 4th, 7th, 7th, 7th. So we are behind in both of those categories. Let's go over to center. 3rd, 3rd, 4th. Okay, so let's put in, before you put anybody on your board, notice, okay, we're in 3rd place here. Now look on the bottom right where it says top schools. Charlotte is in 1st. Georgia Southern is in 2nd. We are a close 3rd. We can enter that race. And we can see if we can close that gap. We probably could. Close that gap. So we're going to enter that race. And let's go down to here. We're in 3rd place here. This is a 4-star player. It's a close race for 1st, and we're in 3rd. We can do that. Let's go to 4th. Now, this is something that I don't recommend. East Carolina is in 1st place, and they almost can nearly have him commit. You can enter this race, but it's a high chance that you're not going to have this player commit to you. So we're going to lay off of him for now, and then we're just going to keep going down. Okay, we're in 6th place here. We're not on the board, so we don't really want to enter that race because they're more than halfway done with this recruit, and he's already made his decision. So let's go back to offensive guard. We're in 4th place here, and we're not even halfway. We can enter this race. We're in 7th. We don't want to enter that race. And they're almost done. You see what I'm getting at? Like, if you see teams like almost have, the commitment, you really don't want to enter that race, especially when you're already at the bottom. So let's go to offensive tackle and let's see what we have here. Who is that? North Carolina State, they pretty much have this commitment. We're in 4th place, but we don't want to waste our time with this player here because North Carolina State is just going to get them. Now, we are in 7th, but they're just over halfway. We can still enter this race and make up that deficit. So we're going to put him on our board. Now, we're not going to enter these races. We're in 9th place, and sometimes, even though they're less than halfway, sometimes it can be a bit of a fight getting back into those races. So you don't want to waste your time, especially as a 2-star team, putting in all your hours into one player when you have so many other prospects to pay attention to. Now that you're done scouting your offensive lineman and you put all the players that you want on your board, you can start looking at other positions. Okay, you may need a strong safety that we talked about. Anybody on the recommended list for strong safety? We're in 5th place here. They're just over half. We can probably win that race, so we're going to put him on our board. We're in 10th place here, and that's too far of a deficit to come back from, so we're going to not even attempt to do that. What I like to do also is my strong safeties and free safeties. If I need a strong safety, I'll look at free safeties also. It really doesn't matter to me. I don't have to scout a strong safety and just solely put them at strong safety. I can always switch them up. It just depends on whose zone is better. If I have a safety whose zone is better, that's really good, I'll put them at free safety. If their zone is really not that good, I'll put them at strong safety. So we're in fourth place here. We're going to enter this race here. And then we're going to look at the other ones. I am going to enter this race and that one. We're in 10th place. We might not get it, but there's still a lot of work to be done on both parts. And I'm going to show you guys, you can still win these 10th place races. If these are all the way down with really no progress, you can still win these type of races. Now, let's go over to other positions. We don't really need a quarterback, so we're not going to scout any quarterbacks, but if you did want to, 7th place here, there's no progress made on this 3-star athlete. No progress made. Matter of fact, let's put him on the list and see what we can do, just for the sake of the video. So he's a scrambling quarterback. He's an athlete, 3-star. No progress has been made on any of those players. Running back, what do we have here? We probably don't want to enter in none of these races for running back. And then let's go over to receiver. We're in 4th place here. We don't want to enter that race. We don't want to enter that one. We don't want to enter that one either. 6th place. Let's try it. Let's try entering that race. And then, so we have 10 prospects on the list. I'm going to keep it there for right now, just for the sake of the video. And now, we have our recruiting board. Before you scout any players, you want to go over to need scholarship. You want to offer every player you put on your prospect list or your scouting board a scholarship. Why? Because you're going to be the first team to offer these players scholarships. That's going to give you a slight boost in week 1, because technically we're in week 0. So that's going to give you a slight boost in week 1 that you've already offered them a scholarship. Now we have a quarterback here, and let's go ahead and scout him. See how good he is. It's pretty good. 87 speed, 91 throw power. He's pretty good. Pretty good quarterback. And then we have a receiver. Let's scout him. He's a gem. There we go. 4-star gem. Let's go through our offensive line. See how easy it is to scout offensive linemen? It's only 2 clicks. 2 clicks to scout offensive linemen. And you get their abilities, mentals, attributes. And then let's go over to free safeties. It took 5 clicks there to scout a free safety. 5. We just spent 50 hours or 50 points scouting safeties when it only took us 2 clicks to scout offensive linemen. That's why you want to prioritize a certain position in the first year whenever you're scouting players. So we still have points left. Let's go ahead and scout some more players. Let's scout some cornerbacks. We may not need any, but for the purpose of the video, we're going to scout cornerbacks. So 7th, 7th, and 9th. Don't want to enter in those races. What about a linebacker? Note. Offensive middle linebacker. 3rd place, we'll enter in that one. 7th place. Sorry, let's go back. 7th place is a 2-star. We'll enter in that one. What about defensive tackle? No. So we added 2 more prospects to our board. Let's go over. Let's offer them the scholarships. And then let's scout them. All right, 75 hours left. Let's scout one more player. Let's scout a tight end. We're in third place here. We'll put him on our board. And then we'll go and offer him a scholarship as well. And then we'll go and scout him. And then we'll add one more because we have 40 points. Can we add a running back? Who has the best shot? We'll add the punter. We'll add the punter. Let's give him a scholarship. And then 5 hours. Let's get a kicker too. We're in third place here. That's fine. All right, so you are done with your recruiting and scouting in week 0. And you're satisfied. So let's go on to week 1. Now, this screen is going to come up after every This screen is going to come up after every week where it shows you, hey, you moved up or you moved down. I really don't pay attention to this screen here that much. I like to actually go in to the scouting board and see what's what. Now, I like to organize my scouting board. So at the bottom where it says sort default, I hit it once and I hit it twice. Now it's going to say interest status. This shows me from top to bottom how many players I'm in first place in. And all the way at the bottom, it shows me I'm in 6th place. And this is the person, these are the people we need to work on the most. Now, quarterback. We moved up from 3rd to 1st. Why? Because we offered him a scholarship. We didn't do anything else. We only offered him a scholarship and we scouted him. That's it. Receiver. We moved up a little bit. Now you see a lot of these other teams have offered him scholarships too. That's why we're not in first. But hey, we're in the mix for this receiver now because we also offered him a scholarship. The tight end, we offered him a scholarship. We're in 2nd. Now you see the trend that I'm saying here. It's good. Yes, it's good to scout the players in the first week 0, when you're starting your dynasty. But you want to first offer them a scholarship because you want that head start. Because in week 0, you can't do any type of legit recruiting. There's no legit recruiting. So my what I like to do, my strategy, is I like to just offer them a scholarship, and then I can scout them later. If I scout them later in week 2 or 3, and it comes out oh, they're really not that good, that's fine. I'll just take them off my board. But I was either in 1st or 2nd place the whole time, so it's not like I was behind in anything. I just decided, hey, he's really not that good. Let me take him off my board. So let's go over to any, and we can see, okay, we're in good position with most of these players. We're in first place with a lot of these players. So now you see what you have to do with a lot of these players. So let's go all the way to the bottom. Our right outside linebacker. All of these players, all of these teams have offered him scholarships. There's a couple of things to look at when you're looking at the overview tab. Where it says pipeline tier, that bronze where it says 1 and then the silver says 2, this means that you're tier 2 when it comes to the pipeline for this hometown. It means that we have a better chance of leapfrogging Georgia Southern, JMU, and Jacksonville State if we put enough points in him and we stay committed. Even though they're all the way up there and they also offer him a scholarship, we have a slight advantage with the pipeline tier. So if you're going against other teams like South Carolina here, they are a tier 5 pipeline and we're only a tier 2. So if we want to battle South Carolina, we have to send the house, because they probably have to just put a little bit of effort into this player and they can just leapfrog to the top. So that's one thing to keep in mind when you're scouting players, is look at the pipeline tier and see what kind of pipelines you're going up against, because that would determine how many hours you're going to have to put into a player to be somewhat, what's the word I'm looking for? To be somewhat competitive. Now, another thing you want to look at, recruiting. On the side where it says motivation, these are the things that motivate the player. They're going to have 3 green check marks. Those will be the 3 things that the player is motivated by. And those are the 3 things that you're going to want to send him a sell on. Either it's going to be a soft sell or a hard sell. Those are the 3 things. If those 3 things happen to be the worst things you're bad at, like academic prestige, brand exposure, conference prestige, or pro potential, you probably would not want to do a soft or hard sell. You probably would want to do a sway. That's going to have a chance for one of those grades to go up a letter. But do you really want to do that as a 1 or 2 star team? Do you really want to put those points into swaying a player when you're already not that good of a team? I would prefer you just send the house and just go all in, rather than trying to sway a player going up against, South Carolina and these other teams who have a pipeline tier higher than yours. Now, we're going to get to scheduled visit whenever that time comes. So you're only going to be able to schedule a visit whenever the player has narrowed down their teams to the top 5. So whenever one of these players does that, we'll schedule a visit and then we'll go from there. Now, we've already scouted the player, so there's nothing to worry about with that. You can find out whether you want to keep the player or not after you scouted them. But hey, he's a gem. We're going to go after him. So, South Carolina, pipeline tier 5. We're going to send the house and see what we can do. And you want to put most of your points in these players that you're not in first place in. Like he's in 4th place. We're going to have to battle against South Carolina. We're going to send the house. Now, Carter Witt, we're in 4th place. And, Charlotte and Coastal Carolina, they're both 2-tier pipeline teams. But hey, we have enough points here. We're going to do contact family and friends, and DM player. We're not going to send the house yet. We'll put 35 points into him. Now here, do we want to send the house? We're in 6th place. No, we do not. We don't really need to go that hard in on this player yet. So we'll also contact friends and family, DM the player. Now, we're in 4th place here. And it's actually a very close 4th place race. And we can see the other teams have offered him the scholarship also. So again, contact friends and family, DM player. We have 295 points left. We are in 4th place here. We're going to do the same thing. If you're always down, and actually no, we want to do more than this, because East Carolina and Duke and Charlotte. Well, East Carolina and Duke, they're four. They're pipeline tier 4. So let's go and we'll send the house on Mr. Prince and see what ground we can make up there. So we're close, but we want to make sure we can leapfrog at least one or two of these teams. Now, we're in second place here, and I forgot the name of this team, but they are a 1-tier pipeline. We're 2-tier. So I'm not going to put much into this. I'm going to put 15. And maybe we can leapfrog that team. I know that team's name. It's just not coming to me. Now, again, both of us are a pipeline 2-tier. But look down below us. Florida. Who is that team there? I don't know who that team is. And FAU. Florida is a 5. Pipeline tier 5. And the other teams, pipeline tier 4. Then South Florida, pipeline 4. So they can easily leapfrog us, even though we are in second place. So I'm not gonna send the house. I'm just gonna put 40 in there. And then we're in second place here. Charlotte is trying to close the deal. So we're gonna put 40 in this player. Here, Coastal Carolina, pipeline tier 2, and we're closing the gap. We'll put 15. And then we're at second place here. We're just going to put 15. And now you've addressed all of the players that you're not in first place in. And then you can start focusing on the players that, hey, I'm in first place with these players. How many points do I have to put in these players to stay there? Well, I don't really put a lot in these players. I just put enough where I'm staying in the lead. It just depends on how big of a lead do I have on these teams will determine how many points I'm going to put into the player. So we barely have lead on Charlotte, so we're going to put 15 there. The punter, we have a decent lead, so I'm just going to put 5 and see how that plays out. And then another thing that determines how many points I put into these players, nobody else has offered them a scholarship. So until other teams have offered them the scholarship, I'm not putting a lot of effort or points into these players because no other teams have offered them the scholarship. Same here. Nobody has offered them a scholarship. We're just going to put 5. Now, nobody has offered them a scholarship, but the pipeline tier teams behind us are higher than us. So that being said, we want to try and put as much gap between those pipeline tiers than us, because once they start offering scholarships, that bar is going to raise up really, really high. So we don't want to we don't want to waste time and have them catch up to us. Same here. South Carolina, they offered Joe Khalil a scholarship, and their pipeline is 5. Yes, we're in first place, but barely. We're going to send the house. And we have 5 hours left over. Now, if you have any hours left over and you also feel satisfied about the hours that you put into the other players, hey, why not go and see if you can put more hours into more players? Like, I would go all the way to the very bottom. Like, there's heavy competition with this right outside linebacker, all of these scholarships. But we can probably leapfrog them, so I'm not really concerned. Not really concerned here either. So what I like to do is I'll just like to just go and see what can I do. And then if I don't find anything interesting that I want to do, then I'll probably just go all the way back down here. Yes, you know, there's a lot of competition and we're at the bottom, but we're going to just put 5 in here. And then we're going to go with that. So remember, we were in 4th place with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 players were in 4th place and then in 6th place. So let's simulate the week. Again, I really pay attention to this list. We're just going to skip past. Now, let's organize to interest status. Look at that. We're in 1st place with all of these players besides 1, and that's the center. So we have came back from 4th place and 6th place to take the lead on all of these players. Now you're thinking to yourself, wow, I'm about to sign these players here. You know, I'm about to have all these commitments and this and that. It's not that easy. So even though you're in 1st place, you want to make sure you stay in 1st place. So by doing that, we move around our hours. So let's say, you know, Khalil, we have a massive lead over South Carolina. So I may feel comfortable taking 50 off and putting 15 on instead. Because, you know, they offer him a scholarship, but we're way ahead. So I'm comfortable putting 15 on there. Let's go down. We have a sizable lead here. I'm comfortable putting 25. We don't have a sizable lead here. All right. So let's just add 5 more. Let's make it 40 instead. Coastal Carolina, they're trying to catch up, but we're still in good position. So we're going to leave that for now. We're going to come down here, 40. We have a decent lead, so I don't need to put that much in here. So we're going to keep it at 15. Actually, let's take all of this off, and let's put 25 instead. We have a sizable lead over Florida. Again, Florida has not offered a scholarship yet, and I'm going to take 15 off. I'm going to keep 25 on. We have a sizable lead, so we don't need 40. 15 is fine. 5. Not really concerned about any of the teams here, so we're going to leave that there and see how that plays out. Now, we are pretty much going to get this receiver, so I'm going to take 50 off and just put 10. Actually, let's put 5. Now here, this is a bit of a race here. Even though we've gained 1st place, you know, Charlotte is still there. They're still there. So we're going to keep this at 35. We're not going to touch that. And we're going to keep this at 40. We're not going to touch that because you can see Charlotte, their arrow is going up. So we want to keep that there. And then, what is the name of this team? I play with them on Road to Glory. Anyways, Kennesaw State. So Kennesaw State, their arrow is pointing down, but they're kind of right behind us. We're going to keep this on 15 and see how that plays out. Now the punter, nobody has offered him a scholarship. We're going to keep that on 5. We are pretty much going to get this kicker. So, and nobody else has offered him a scholarship, so we're going to move that down to 5. And then here, we're in 2nd place. Kennesaw State has offered him a scholarship. So, instead of 15, we're going to put 25. So, from having 0 hours to 155 by moving hours around depending on what everything looks like the following week. That's how I like to do things. Now, since we are in technically week 1, we want to see who's ready for a visit. Free safety LaRue. Jason LaRue is ready for a visit. We will go over to recruiting and schedule visit. Now, you don't want to schedule a visit on bye weeks, and you don't want to schedule a visit against teams you probably know you're going to lose against. So, it depends. Like, if a team is very bad and you win, you'll get 1 green arrow pointing up. So you're not going to get that much credit beating a terrible team. But if you lose against a terrible team here, you see you get 3 arrows pointing down. So it's really up to you what week you want to schedule them against what team. We can do Liberty. We can do Georgia State, Old Dominion, and JMU. Now, sometimes I like to wait until I see what other teams are scheduling their visits. That way, hey, if Charlotte is going to schedule their visit week 5, I'm going to schedule mine week 4, right ahead of them. But for the purpose of this video, we're just going to go ahead and schedule them week 5. Now, we want to schedule them week 5. As you can see down here, remember earlier I said a player will have 3 motivations, but we only see 2 here. Now, we could wait for the 3rd motivation and see what he likes, but as you can see down here where it says proximity to home, A, his other motivations isn't going to be better than that one. So that is the one that we are going to go with. Proximity to home. So we have him ready to visit in week 5. And look at that. We have 115 hours left. And what can we do? We can put it into the players that we know we need to come back and get a lead on, like here. Wilson the house. We have enough points to do so. And then the tight end here, let's go ahead and put 25. And then 40. That's good there. 35. Let's put 5 more there. Let's put that and that. So we have 25. And then, let's see here. Let's put 10 there. And then we'll put 5 here. And then I really don't like Florida just creeping around. So we'll put 10 there. All right, so we're out of hours this week. We put all the hours into the players that we want. So let's go to week 2. As you see, we're still in first place with a lot of these players. No commitments yet. All right, let's organize this. Let's go all the way to the bottom. Look at that. We are in first place with every single player now. And as we did before, let's see who we need to focus on and put more points into. Let's do this strong safety. Let's put 25 there. let's take, we took a big lead there. So let's take 25 off here. And then put 10 because he is visiting, I think it's week 3. So Charlotte has him visiting this week. So instead of taking that 25 off, we're going to keep it there because we don't know how big of a leap Charlotte is going to take after that visit. So we're going to keep it on 30. So we are in great position here with this free safety. Florida still has to offer him a scholarship. So we're going to keep that on 5. Great position here. Let's take that 5 off. Haven't made much progress here, but nobody still has offered him a scholarship, so I'm pretty confident. Let's keep 10 there. Now, as you can see here, we're in first place, but it's not as easy as it was before. Last week, we were pretty much almost going to sign him, and now it's taking sort of a different approach. So we're going to have to put much more into this player if we want to get him. So we'll put 40 instead. We're going to keep 40 there. 40 here. We're going to take some off and then keep 10 instead. 40. We're going to keep 10 instead. And instead of 5, we're going to put 10 for these players. Now, let's check to see who's ready for a visit. We have 3 players ready for a visit. We have Mazzini, Magnum, that's a crazy last name, and Witt. Now, his proximity to home, he likes that too, which is at an A+. And I like to also see, hey, has any other teams scheduled a visit yet? Nope, not really. And as you can see also, I don't have enough hours to schedule a visit for every single player here. And I don't want to move around any of my hours on the other list. So I'm going to prioritize who do I want to set the visit with first. Who is more important off this list? That's how I make my decision. If I say, hey, this is a really great dual threat quarterback that I really, really want to just get on my team first and have him, settled. So let's schedule a visit with Liberty. Now, I just seen something. His motivation is there's only one green check mark there for playing time. It's an A-. We could either wait until we see what the other check marks are, and maybe one of them is proximity to home, or we can just go with playing time. It's up to you. It's however you want to do it. If you have the luxury to wait to make that schedule, to schedule that visit, then do so. If you're in a battle with a player like here, a lot of scholarships, or here where you think another team is maybe catching up, or you're in a battle, then go ahead and schedule that visit. So we're gonna wait for Mr. Magnum, and we're gonna come here, and we're gonna schedule a visit with Liberty. He likes proximity to home. We're going to do that. Now, I could have... Who was he? Visit schedule. Now, I could have went with playing time, but I don't know if that's going to be a motivation for him. And plus, with this battle going on right now with Kennesaw State, I didn't want to take any chances. I didn't want to wait any longer. I don't know what's going to happen next week. I mean, they could come out of nowhere and just, you know, catch me. So I went ahead and scheduled that. Now, the other player that we're going to schedule is Mr. Witt here. And as you can see here, I want to schedule him for Liberty. As you can see on the bottom right, complimentary visits, free safety, Jason LaRue. That means that it's going to be a plus that we're scheduling both of these players the same week. That's going to give an extra boost to that visit week. And now we can see here we have all his green check marks, but the best one is going to be proximity to home. And we're going to do that one. Now, we have 15 hours left, and we can just spread that out however we want. Let's go. I like to start from bottom to top, and I like to also see, hey, has any other teams offered? What are the battles looking like? Who's getting close? And so this guy here, we're going to take all of this off, and we're going to send the house. And now can kind of narrow it down. We have 5 hours left, so we're going to put that into this player here. Because again, Florida, even though they haven't offered him a scholarship, they're still there. They're lurking. You know, pipeline tier 5. We don't want them to catch us off guard. All right. Advance a week. And see, we have fell to second place with a center. So let's take a look and see what happened there. Let's organize. Let's go all the way down here. You see, South Carolina, pipeline tier 5, offering them a scholarship, and now we're in second place. This is where we can either schedule a visit or we can put some more points into him. But we're not going to make that decision yet. We're going to go up, adjust all the points like we have been doing, and then go from there. See, Kennesaw State, they're making a push. They offered a scholarship. Other teams are kind of like, hey, you know, we're making a move now. But left tackle here, we've made a big jump. So let's take some points off. And then we'll keep 10 on him. We'll take some off. I'm going to keep 10 on a lot of these players. We're going to keep that there. Because Charlotte had their visit last week, and you can see the big jump that they made. That's why I kept 30 hours on this player. Because I knew Charlotte had a visit with this player. And I knew they're going to get a big jump. So we're still in first place there. 5 points on him. Florida still no scholarship. Then free safety, we're going to keep 15 on him. Going to keep 10 there. We have 50 here. Not Arkansas State, but South Carolina has dropped down. So we don't have to send the house on him no more, but I do still want to be aggressive. So 35. And then we're going to keep 40 on him because Georgia State is moving up. And then I want to add 5 there. Keep that on 10, keep that on 10, keep that on 10. Now, this one, now that we've come back, we have 165 hours. We're going to put 40. Going to put 40 in and see what that does. Now that we rearrange our hours, who's ready for a visit? 4 players. Now again, it's important to know who do you want to schedule a visit with first. Who's the most important player? And I think the most important player is going to be this guy here. 4-star. I don't know what he is, but he's a 4-star player. And we are in the battle with South Carolina. So we're going to schedule. We're not going to schedule Liberty because we already have a center who's scheduled to visit that week. And it's a competitive visit. So you don't want to schedule the same positions in the same week. So we're going to go with week 4. Why week 4 when there's such a disadvantage? It's because South Carolina is a pipeline tier 5 team, and we want to get back ahead as quickly as possible. We don't want to stay behind. And also, as you can see, he's only has 1 green star. It's proximity to home. We don't have time to wait for playing time to see if he likes that. So we're going to schedule that visit there. And then let's go ahead and schedule a visit with Prince here, because Charlotte is closing in just a little bit. And then we're going to do a week 4. He has all his green check marks. We're going to do that. Now, Charlotte is also closing in here, but we're still going to schedule a visit. We're going to do also week 4. He has his 3 check marks. There we go. 5 hours to play with. Magnum, not really concerned about scheduling a visit yet. We have a decent lead. So let's go ahead and put these points in. Let's put them in. We can put, wow, we have a decent lead on a lot of players. We'll put them in here. All right. Week 4. How do we do after our visits? We got a commitment, a 2-star center. So there's 1. I see we're in second place with a player. But we did get a commitment there. Let's organize. Let's see who we're in second place with. Now, there was a slim chance that we were going to get this commit here, to get this player. But we don't want to back out yet, even though it may seem like South Carolina is going to get this player. They still have a visit this week. So we're going to wait until they complete their visit and see if we can make up any ground. Probably not. So we're going to see if we can make up any ground. And then along with that, we're going to do a soft sell. Now, he does not have all of his motivations listed, but we don't have time to wait on any of that. So we're going to hunt down those 2 green check marks. And then one of them is a question mark. We don't know if he likes that or not, but we don't have time to figure that out. So we're going to go with a hard sell and then 10 points. So we're going all out with this player, and he has a visit this week. So we're going to see if we can make up that ground against South Carolina. Now here, Charlotte has taken the lead because they had their visit. But we have our visit in week 5. So we're going to stay steady. We don't need to overreact in this situation. I am going to add 10, but we don't need to overreact. Every other position, looks like we're going to sign the punter. We're going to get the tight end. JMU trying to make a comeback here. That's fine. Let's go ahead and put some more hours into him. You can either put more hours, but I think what we're going to do, let's do a soft sell on these 3 motivations. Athletic facilities, coach abilities, proximity to home. We have a C, B, and an A. So what I like to do is if I have decent letter grades, why not just go with a hard sell? There we go. So we got 40 points in here. We're doing a hard sell, and we have a visit this week. So, you know, JMU, they are closing the gap, but I think after this week, we're going to shoot up really far. And then Coastal and Charlotte, they're trying to close in the gap here, but I think we're doing just fine. I don't even think we need that many points into him. We're going to keep 25, though. Then we're doing great here. And keep 25 there. We're going to keep 10 here. And then we're going to keep 10 there. Oh, we pretty much, this is a sign. Why they should have already given us this player. Wow. We're going to keep this at 35. Now, so you've allocated all your points again to whatever your liking is. So one thing I did forget is now that the top fives are here and some of these motivations are popping up, you can either keep these points like this, or you can start doing your soft sales, which I'm going to do. So let me just take points off this player. And I'm going to do, I actually going to do a hard sell. So we're going to do a hard sell here. Find all of our green check marks: campus, lifestyle, proximity to home, program, tradition. So we're going to do a hard sell there. We're going to keep him at 40. Okay, so those are still locked. This one is open. So we're going to take that away there. And, well, he still has he has one green check mark to go. So we're going to keep that 5 there. We'll come back to him maybe next week. And he has one more to go. He has one more to go, but his is locked. Okay, so we have 3 stars here. And we're going to do a hard sell on those 3 categories. And then he only has 2, so we have to wait on him, but he is ready. Now, Charlotte here, they are in front of us, but with us doing a hard sell, we can probably make up that deficit. All right, so we did our hard sells. Let's go over to ready for visit. We have 2 players ready for a visit. Again, waiting on his 3rd star. It's probably going to be, it can be proximity to home or conference prestige. Now, it'll be up to you whether you want to wait for that B, proximity to home, or you can go with that B- lifestyle. For the purpose of the video, we are just going to, we're going to go with, I'm going to do this as quick as possible because Florida is still scaring me. We're going to go with campus lifestyle. And this guy is also ready for a visit. He also only has 2 stars, 2 check marks. And do we have time to wait? We have time. We don't have to schedule him right now. We have time to wait. We have time to wait on that player. So we're in week 4. What I like to do in week 4 is go back to the prospect list. Why do I like to do that? Because there can still be some great players out here that have not been offered scholarships. So let's go to 4-star players. Interest. Actually, let's go to offers. I like to schedule this by offers because No team has offered these players any scholarships. Now, there's not really much on this list, but let's put Biggers on the list. 4-star. Let's put him on the list. Yeah, those teams on there, pretty scary. I know. But none of them has offered him the scholarship yet. So maybe we could possibly sneak in and have this player commit to us. What about 5 stars? Nobody on the list. There's going to be a lot of 3-star players that you can probably sneak in and grab that nobody has offered a scholarship. But you don't want to just go and scout anybody. You want to look and see what the influence is. If their influence is really low, then yeah, you can probably sneak in and steal that player. But if their influence is really high, then you're probably not gonna be able to get that player. But it looks like a lot of these players' interest is still pretty high. But you will find players that their influence is really low. And I'm going to keep searching until I find that player. So his is really low, but he's locked us out. Let's see. No. And I don't want to skip ahead in the video or make any cuts. I want you guys to see what I'm doing step by step. Now, here's a player, a cornerback. Now, his interest is 7th. But if we wanted to start recruiting him, we can, because no other team has offered him scholarships, and the influence is very low. So we're going to put him on the board. And then let's see. Here's a free safety. Influence is that's at halfway, but if you look at the teams on that list, you got to ask yourself, can I compete with those teams? Maybe, maybe not, but we're going to put him on the board. And then let's go with this guy here. Influence is halfway. Northwestern, Wisconsin, Air Force. We maybe can jump into that battle. Now let's go over to need scholarship. What do we do when we add players to our list? Nobody else has offered them scholarships. We offer them a scholarship. We go ahead and we get that out the way. There we go. And then kicker and punter, we didn't really scout. We don't really care about that. And next thing you have to do now is just, scout your players. Do 2 there. And this is just seeing, hey, do I want to actually go after these players? I don't know yet, because I don't want to put any hours into them if I don't know if I want them or not. Now we're going to go over to any, go ahead and sort. And now that let's say you've already scouted these players. You've already scouted them and you decided, yeah, I want to go after these players. All right, let's go up here and see, where can I take something off? I can take off 10 and put 5 there. I can take off 10 here and put 5 instead. I can take off 10 and put 5 instead. I have 20 points. What I'm going to do, 5, 10, 15, 20. Now, we offered them a scholarship, we scouted them, and we put hours into them when nobody else has seemed to do so. So, as you can see here, we're not even on the interest list for these 2 players, for these 3 players, and then we're in 7th here. So we're done with this week, and let's come back and see if we made any progress at all with those players that we just added to our list. Now, you're not always going to get those players, but sometimes you will. It just depends on what star they are, the pipeline tier of the teams that are on that list, and the influence that that player already has with those teams. We got a free safety, Jason, has committed to the team. And we're in first place with a lot of different players. All right, scouting. And another thing I forgot to mention, whenever you're going here in week 4 or 5, and I didn't do it here because I forgot, but we have coach skills. So whenever you're going back into, the later weeks, and whatever position that you're going to be scouting, go in here and add those recruiting points into. That way, whenever you're scouting those players late, it's going to go quick. It's going to go just like that. So you're not going to have to spend all those hours scouting those players, those late players. So who were those late players that we added? It was Tompkins. Where's Tompkins? Look at that. First place. We offer them, we're the only person to offer them a scholarship. Now we're in first place. And before we were in 7th. So sometimes it's as easy as that. Biggers. We weren't on the list. For these players, we're still not on the list. But it's okay, because no other teams still have not offered them a scholarship. So we can take our time with those still. All right. But we need to focus more on these visits, sending out these visits. So Hawkins, we're going to go ahead and schedule a visit, because you can't wait too late to schedule visits, because then if you get too late in the season, you won't be able to schedule a visit. So we're going to do him for proximity to home. And then week 10, we're going to go with proximity to home again, because that's a B instead of a B minus. Here we got a complimentary visit. So we're going to go week 9, and then we're going to go with the best one we have is a C+, and I'll just go with playing style. Then let's go with a visit here, and then we can go with playing time. And then as you can see here, we only have 20 hours. That's because we have not done anything over here yet as far as allocating points how we want. Overview. South Carolina, still trying to make a push. We're still keeping 50 points in there, trying to hold them off. 40 here. That's only because we got the you don't want, once you put a pitch on, you do not want to take off the pitch. Do not take off the pitch. If you take off the pitch, let's say, hey, I don't want to do a hard sell. I want to do a soft sell instead. So you take this off and you go over the soft sell. What's going to happen is whatever those 3 motivations that you picked the first time, you cannot pick them again. So whenever you do a soft or hard sell, make sure that's a sell you want to do, because you cannot take them off. So we have 25 here. We're going to keep that there. We have 40 here, but that is a hard sell. All these are hard sells. Let's take 10 off here and put 5 instead. This is also a hard sell. I'm going to take 25 off and put 10 instead. That's going to allow us. And really, this guy, we're going to keep that at 5. All right, so we got 2 players ready for a visit. Who's most important to get a visit? That's going to be this guy, because Kennesaw State has offered him a scholarship. They're creeped up just a little bit. And also, you can only schedule 4 players in the same week. Keep that in mind. Proximity to home. So, all right, no hours. We have 1 player. It's a punter who's waiting for a visit. That's fine. We don't really... Punters are punters. Don't mean to sound rude, but punters are punters. All right. Advance a week. We got the left guard, Larry. We got the outside linebacker, Witt. But we did lose to South Carolina with this player. It was inevitable that we were going to lose that because they were a pipeline tier 5. But we still battled until the end. It was inevitable that they were going to get him. So let's just take him off the board. We are still not on the list here, but we're still not worried. Nobody has offered them a scholarship but us, and we have some more room to work with. And let's go ahead and get this visit out the way. Still waiting on that last check mark, but we're getting towards the end of the season, so we're going to get that out the way. Players that are going to really go ahead, we're going to go ahead and put 10 of these players, go ahead and have them commit because they're right there. Just come on home. Same here, 5. I'm going to put 25 instead. Now, these players here, we're ready to start putting some points into. Here we go. And the reason why I'm sending the house is because we started late with these players. So we want to put as much points or hours into these players as we can, as early as often, so we can make up that deficit. Now, we've already have our points allocated to where we want them. Let's see who is ready for a hard or soft commit. He's not ready. We have a punter here who's ready, but he only has 2 stars. So we can wait on him. We have a player that has 3 stars. He's a tight end. Let's go ahead and do a hard sell because we have the points to do so. Here we go. Who else is ready? All right, we have 3 check. I keep saying stars, but we have 3 check marks here. So let's do a hard sell. Bam. So we have 65 hours to work with. I can put these anywhere I want. Anywhere I want. Where is the most competition? We have here. At the most competition here. Again, don't want to do a sale yet because we're waiting on that last check mark. So we're going to go 25. We have some competition here. 25. And then competition there, but we're doing a hard sell. Pretty much have him. Let's go ahead and do 25. And then add 10 more because I don't like how North Carolina is pushing, and then Wake Forest is moving up also. And he's our gem. We don't want to lose our gem. All right, so we're done with this week. Let's go on to week 7. There we go. We got some more commits. Amani has signed or committed to the team. So now we have more hours to play around with. More hours to dump into players. Do we need to schedule a new one for a visit? We do. 2 players. So we'll come back to that. All right. We're organized by interest status. So let's go all the way down to see here. All right. So look at that. We are in first place now. The players that we started out scouting late in week 4, we are in first place now. No other team offered them scholarships. And we set the house on all these players. And now we are sitting pretty in first place. We cannot do a hard sell or soft sell. And we probably won't be able to have enough time to do a visit. But we're still in first place with these players. And that's better than what it was 2 weeks ago. So now let's just take a look and see what we want to do. All right, let's go ahead and stop playing around with this guy. Let's send the house. I still don't know about that sale yet. I'm waiting on the last one. I'm probably, you know what? Let me go ahead. There's not many options really. I'm gonna go there, hope and pray that proximity to home is very important to him. So we have sending the house, doing a hard sell, and then here we're good here for now. I'm gonna let that ride out. Actually, let me take 25 off here and put 10 instead. And then put 10 more there just to hold off Georgia State. 2 players ready for a visit. So let me take 25 off, 10, then 5. Schedule him for a visit. Proximity to home. Let's schedule him for a visit. JMU. Proximity to home. Everybody's scheduled. We have no more hours. And we're all good for this week. We have who we have. We prioritize who we prioritize. Now, again, it's not a guarantee we're going to get those players that we started scouting late. But we're in the mix. We're in the mix and we have a chance. We have a chance to possibly get them in the during the off season. Another thing I want to show you guys. On my school, so risk of transfers, left guard, Schrader. That's only because I'm scouting guards. So, well, I signed the guard. He doesn't like that. He doesn't like the fact that I signed the guard. And he also just doesn't like the playing style. Now, I don't know how to fix the playing style, I'll be honest. But it's really something I really don't know how to fix when it comes to that. So if I don't know something, I'll let you guys know. And our record, we're 5-2. Didn't really look at the record, but we're 5-2. All right. Interest status. What are we looking at on these players that we started late with? Tompkins, we're sitting good. Who are the other players? We're sitting good here. Sitting good there. And we're sitting okay there. But we have 80 hours to work with. Anybody ready for a visit? No one's ready for a visit. All right, so let's play around with the numbers and see what we can do. And let's also see if we can do any soft or hard sells. We can do a let's do a soft sell on this guy here, because our grades really aren't that powerful. We have an A, C minus, and C. That, and then we'll do 10 and 5. We can do a soft sell. No, we can do a hard sell on this guy. Do a hard sell. I'm loving the grades that I see. We have a B minus, B, and C plus. So we do a hard sell there. And then we would do a hard sell on this guy here. There we go. Because Georgia State is trying to creep up. They have a visit week 12. Press the wrong button. We're doing this live. Okay, so still waiting on his third check mark, so that's fine. And then we'll do a hard sell on this player here. So we don't have enough points yet, but we can get some. We can get some from, we just need 5. There we go. And then who's the player? Was it the kicker? It was the kicker. There we go. All right. We got our hard and soft sells. We got our visits. We got our points allocated. We're ready to move on to the next week. And you're not going to get every player you scout, but if you go by this method and you know what you're doing and you're confident, then you can do it. All right, we have no hours to work with, but that's fine. Let's see the progress we made. Made great progress there. Didn't make any progress there. We're doing good here, doing good there, doing great there. We're doing good there. All right, so now some of these teams are starting to offer scholarships. You know, that's okay. We're still sitting pretty, and we're probably going to be able to sign these players down here. So we don't need to move around anything. I like what I see everywhere. So I'm going to keep it as is. Going to move on to the next week and see if we can get some commitments. And we do. Was it one of the players? Nope, it was not one of the players we signed. Started scouting late, but it's a 3-star left tackle. We got a free safety. We got the receiver that we wanted, that we've been working so hard to get. We got a tight end. So we got a lot of players. We got a lot of players that week. All right, let's go back and see. Strong safety, we're good, doing good there. We did a soft sell, so I'll let that stay there. We can finally do a hard sell on this guy. There we go. Then I'll just add 10 more because we have the points. See, how are we looking here? We can start doing hard and soft sells on these players too. So and we can schedule visits. So let's schedule visits first. So we can only schedule 4 players for per week. So how many players do we have to schedule? 3. Who's most important? They all are. These are all the players that we started scouting late. We only have a choice between week bye and JMU, so we're just going to go with the bye week. Don't want to wait too late, so we're just going to do program tradition. And then proximity to home. Then for him, coach prestige. All right, 5 hours left. Now, I'm going to take this off. I'm going to do a soft sell only because the grades that he has, I'm not really a fan of. C, B, D minus. So we're going to do a soft sell instead. And then 25. Here. Now, I'm going to do a hard sell only because I have an A and B. I have a D minus, but I have an A and B. So we're going to do a hard sell instead. He's not ready, and he is, but I don't like, he doesn't have enough check marks. So we're going to keep 50 on him. And put 10 there. Then we're going to put 10 there. Because Georgia State is like, they're trying right now. All right. Let's see if we can get some more commitments after week 10. We did. Got another free safety. We got a quarterback. We got Magnum, the other great player that we wanted. We got a kicker. So we are getting the players that we wanted. We are getting the players that we scouted. It's all about playing the numbers and knowing when to put what where, if that makes any sense. So, only one player ready for a visit. So let's go ahead and schedule his visit. We have 260 hours to work with. I'm going to go with Coach Prestige. All right. So we have everything organized for interest status. How are we looking here? And we can even, you know what? Once you're at the point you're coming to the end of the season and you know that you have a lot of points, just start putting points into as many players as you can. There we go. Boom. And then we'll back out of here and then we'll send the house instead. Then we'll do a hard sell. Yeah, we'll do a hard sell. Then bam. Now you can go on the prospect list and look for, other players that, may not have been offered a scholarship, but it's very slim to none that you're going to find a player that doesn't have high interest in the team somewhere. Even though no one has offered them a scholarship, you will have to do a lot of work to get that player, and then also you're not going to be able to schedule them for a visit, and in scouting, I think that's very important. So, I have 110 hours left over. That's not always the case. I just have that much left over because I'm just making this video. So let's go into the next week and let's see who we can have committed to our team. There we go. We got the punter. And that's it for this week. Let's see how close we are to getting the other players. We should be very close to getting the other players. Like, we're going to have him next week. Might take some time with these players. But most of the other player, we're going to have him next week. All right, so let's do a soft sell. Soft sell 45 and 50. Already did one there, and we already did one there. Now, let's say you have enough points and you have a decent lead on a player, and the sales that you have isn't really to your liking. Like this player here. Like, man, you know, we're probably gonna get him, but I want to like make it official that we really want to get him. I don't want Jackson State or Georgia State to just randomly come out of nowhere and steal him from us. Let's go to sway. Let's sway some of these. Let's go with proximity to home. We don't know what his proximity to home is. So we're just going to click that one and see, you know, if he does like it, that'd be great. But if he doesn't, that's fine. But that and then that. So let's go into the next week. Still no commitments. But I think it's still a high chance that we're going to get these players. Go. So LSU has passed us here, and that is also expected. Remember, they're a pipeline tier 5. So, like I said, it's not a guarantee we're going to get these players. That's why you have to go all out. And it's week 12 right now, and we had to visit last week. So, even with our visit, LSU passed us. So, we might not get this player. But you can still try to get these players. Like this player. We're going to get this player. Oh, excuse me. We're going to get this player. We're going to get this player. We're going to get this player. It's just the 4-star, is a player that we're probably not going to get, which is fine. All right, so there we go. Proximity to home. Let me take our hometown hero. This is my first time actually doing a sway. So I don't know if I go to hard sell, whether I'd be able to. Okay, so I can choose those three again. So we're going to go to hard sell. And we're going to choose those 3. Then add 10. There we go. Everybody's on 50. Everybody's rocking out. Then let's go into week 13. And we're probably going to lose that player with LSU. So we got the strong safety. We got the cornerback. All right. So at least one player that we started scouting late, he signed with us. He committed to our team. So like I said, there is still a chance that you can sign those players late. You just have to find them and go all in on them with whatever points you have left. So We've kind of fought back against LSU, kind of, head to head. Wisconsin's trying to make a comeback. They offered a scholarship finally. They're tier 4 pipeline. But we're probably going to get this guy here. So it's been a great recruiting season. Everything has went the way you want it to go. And you have all the players committed that you wanted committed to your team. There you go. We got the free safety. And then reach top 3 schools with him. Now we have our bye week. Anybody ready for a visit? Nope. So we've been locked out of this race. Oklahoma State and Texas A&M, they offered scholarships finally at the end of the season. So we have to back out of that one. And then we have this one prospect left. So if you're lucky enough to get all of your prospects signed during the season, that's a good thing, because you don't want to worry about having to scout or put points into players in the off season, because you want to worry about, and we got the right tackle. So you want to worry about transfers in the off season rather than players you're trying to get committed that was in the regular season. So every player that we had on our list to scout, we got them committed. Besides that one player who we started scouting late, everybody we got scouted. Now, we're not going to be here anywhere close. Oh, actually, we're number 39. So we got the players who we wanted, and it was pretty easy doing so because we moved around the hours and the numbers every single week depending on what the other team was doing and how far of a lead you had on that other team. So that's how you want to do it. You don't want to keep the same amount of points into a player every week. You want to move it around. That way you have time for scheduling players, doing soft sells, hard sells, and then putting more points into players where you think you need to, and so you won't lose that player. So I hope this helped everybody. I did not want to skip around. I wanted to go week by week to show you guys how it's done and how easy it can be once you get a rhythm going and you know what you're doing. So I hope that helped everybody out and grasp a better understanding on how to scout. And if you guys have any questions, or if there's something in here that I may have missed that maybe I could learn from, just let me know in the comment section. And I thank you all for watching. This is a long 1.5-hour video, but if you made it this far, put down in the comment section your favorite college football team. That will let me know that you've made it this far in the video. So down in the comment section, drop down your favorite college football team. And I'll catch you guys all next time. And as always, have a good day.